This is part one of You Must Rejoice Before the Lord Yahweh Yahweh by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Welcome to Feast of Weeks. We're truly enjoying the Feast of Yahweh. It's a blessing to our mind, our spirit, our soul, our body. We, the nation of Yahweh, are happy to have you in our midst. Welcome. As we made it clear last night, Feast of Weeks is a happy time. Feasting is an enjoyable occasion. Normally we think of feasting as having a bountiful table of food fit for a king. Much more than we would ever be able to eat. And all of the high holy days of Yahweh are called feasts. Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now we're celebrating Feasts of Weeks. And in the last of September, we will be celebrating Feasts of Tabernacles. And of course, we always have the best food on earth at our feasts. But we who are familiar with the high holy days of Yahweh know that it is a feast of spiritual food that satisfies our soul and adds luster to our lives. It is here at the Feast of Weeks that we have learned who to love. Praise Yahweh. It is here at the Feast of Weeks that not only do we learn who to love, but we learn in what order love must flow. And then, as important, and certainly not least or last, is we learn how to love. What good is it to want love and not recognize it when you get it? What good is it to potentially have it and don't recognize it or don't know what to do with it? During the Feast of Weeks, we learn that Yahweh commands us to rejoice. We learn that rejoicing is not optional. We learned last night that Yahweh says, come before his presence with singing. And that Yahweh gets pleasure from us being happy. And as Yahweh's son, I too get pleasure from seeing you happy. Deuteronomy chapter 16. Let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 16. Verse 11. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 11. Read.
And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God Yahweh, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gate, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Lord thy God Yahweh hath chosen to place his name there.
So much wisdom here. The theme, of course, being you must rejoice before Yahweh. Why should you rejoice before Yahweh? Number one, Yahweh is your God. Yahweh belongs to you. What a thrill when you come into the knowledge correctly that Yahweh being your God and your possession is actually with you all the time. And has always been with you. Now, you can tell from the response that some people are seemingly more conscious about Yahweh being their possession and with them than others. Some people are spooked out by believing when they see my body come in, here comes Yahweh. Some people actually believe that. They don't think that Yahweh is with them before they see my body. I'm trying to figure out, how do you breathe without Yahweh? Where was Yahweh before I picked up this body? Oh, I admit I am the glory of Yahweh. I admit I'm here in this body and you can behold Yahweh's glory. But are you trying to tell me that Yahweh does not exist except I manifest in bodily form? That's a question to some, and others have an answer. Some are conscious of what I'm saying, and some are unconscious as to what I'm saying. And you can look at the mystery in faces that some people don't know how Yahweh is with them. You see, once you become conscious that I am with you in California and Africa, you have a reason to rejoice. You're sitting next to Yahweh. Yahweh sitting in front of you. Yahweh sitting behind you. Yahweh sitting above you. Yahweh sitting beneath you. Yahweh is omnipresent everywhere. Now, some people clap because they believe it, and that's why they clap. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful to believe. Believe me, it is. It helps. Belief helps. As long as you believe, you have a chance to learn. To believe that Yahweh is omnipresent, to believe that Yahweh is all around us, brings a certain measure of joy. But when you become conscious of how Yahweh is in you and how Yahweh is in the one next to you and how Yahweh is in all of us in this room, and then all of us come together, you can understand how we ought to rejoice and why we should rejoice in the consciousness of being in the presence of Yahweh magnified. Praise Yahweh. See what's going on out here? Some people are just rejoicing, and just like the word said, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord your God, Yahweh. And some are. Praise Yahweh. I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just you can tell that there's a consciousness in some rejoicing and then some are clapping. See, some people clap because they think the clapping of others is the rejoicing. So in order to look like they're rejoicing also, they clap. But the real clap comes from those who are conscious of the L. Praise Yahweh. And you see, there's still a difference. Those who are truly conscious of the L, it just made them jump up and clap. While others didn't want to be left out, so they clapped sitting down. See, this is real. Consciousness has a different reaction from the unconscious. Yeah. See, an unconscious person just lays there. He may not be dead, but he just lays there. And everybody that's conscious can walk by and look and say, poor thing, unconscious, isn't he? And the unconscious person, it may register, but they can't respond to the statements. If they ever get conscious, they might wake up and say one day, I heard you talking about me. You thought I didn't hear you, didn't you? Yeah, but I heard you. But I just couldn't do nothing about it. I couldn't say or do or move or anything, but I heard you. That's the nature of being unconscious. But the conscious can get up and move around consciously. And there's something about this conscious knowledge of the L that is just from within, and something springs alive, and it causes an alive, conscious rejoicing. And those that's not conscious, they look, they hear something, they can't quite figure it out, so they just go on and say, yeah. You know, see, you can see what I'm saying, but not everybody understands what I'm saying. And now there's two kinds of conditions in the room. There's a conscious condition of the L, and there's an unconscious condition of the L. And all those who are unconscious, they have a big smile on their face too right now. See, all those who are conscious of the L, they have a smile. And those who are unconscious of the L, most of them have a smile. Not all. Some are so unconscious they don't even smile either. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not even going to pretend. You know, some people sit against that H-I-J-K-L. Who's so excited about an L? You don't think there's some people in here like that? You're out of your mind. H-I-J-K-L, and they all excited about an alphabet. So those kind who believe that it's the alphabet L, they sure enough stony face. I knew I shouldn't have come down here this year. Came here to learn my history and culture and language and name about my God, and then man, they're talking about some kind of L. What is alphabet? And people all jumping all up and down. What's wrong with them? Look at them, they laughing like something funny too. One group, as I talk about the L, is smiling from within from a state of consciousness. And they're happy that they are conscious. Now this is the group that knows L equals L. Now my three groups are still in here. The group that's just looking like, I still don't see nothing funny. After all this talk, about consciousness and stuff. So now we understand what's going on with this conscious group. They have something going on from within that's exploding. Then you have the second group, they also clapping and they smiling. Now let me tell you why they're smiling. They're saying, come on, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Tell us. Come on, tell us the mystery. What? We still in Deuteronomy 16, verse 11. So he said, and thou shalt rejoice. See, this is a two-edged sword word, and thou shalt rejoice. It could be like a future tense, something that you shall do in the future. And thou shalt rejoice, meaning that it could be interpreted to be a command, and that you do it simply because you're commanded to do so, but do it without understanding, comprehension. Do it without consciousness. Just do it because it's written. And that's called manufactured joy. Manufactured joy, to me, is the same as phony joy. False joy. Phony and false joy is the one where you clap and you smile because you see others doing it. And you don't want to look like you out of it. It makes you feel funny when people are rejoicing over a word that you think you understand, and they're acting peculiar and happy about it, and it's not doing that for you. See, these people are reacting beyond my experience. These people are acting beyond the scope of my knowledge. These people are reacting over my head. They seem to be talking above my head. My head doesn't seem to reach where their head is. And it looks like it's a bunch of them doing this. If it were just one jumping up hollering, we'd swear they're crazy. But with so many rejoicing, we begin to wonder about our own condition. It's too many of them acting the same way for it not to have something to do with me, and I can't quite relate to that. But at any rate, I want some of what they have, because what do they have? They have joy. I'm looking at the people who have joy. And I've been unhappy today and yesterday and the day before, and things haven't been going so good for me. And yet I come and see some people happy. And they seem to be happy from inside. It means that they have something that I don't really have. Yet I can tell there's something I'd like to have. Joy from within. Where you can just hear a man say a word and you just get all bubbly and happy and jumping around again. What's going on? Some people drink a fifth of scotch trying to feel this. Some people hang out all night long trying to get up to get to some of this. And get disappointed when they get home. Never reach this. And if they can attach themselves to some joy, it doesn't last long. It's real fast. And this joy with Yahweh Ben Yahweh, it just seems to keep coming. And it just come again and just keep coming and just seems to keep hanging around. And it just, how do you sustain such a orgasm as this? And it's something you don't have to hide to enjoy. It's something you can enjoy in the public, out in the open. You don't care who see you, enjoy it. Don't have to be ashamed or hide it. It's clean. Praise Yahweh. I still have my 3 groups with me. So, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God could be a future tense, something that you're going to do in the future because of whatever reasons. Thou shalt rejoice out of compulsion, and a requirement. You're forced to do it. You do it because it says so. And then there's this reason. Because of your consciousness that you are in fact before the Lord your God, Yahweh. You can't help but rejoice before him. Praise Yahweh. See, when you're unconscious of Yahweh being with you, you have a tormented mind. Mind full of torment. Look for peace in so many ways and can't find it. But as long as you're conscious of Yahweh with you, you enjoy perfect peace. Perfect love without fear. Praise Yahweh. Check this out. And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord your God, Yahweh. As you become conscious of Yahweh with you, you can't help but sing praises to his name. Can't help yourself. It just happens. And you can tell when someone else is conscious. So when you become conscious of Yahweh and the El, then you can make that earthly statement, I'm okay. Are you okay? And if they're conscious of Yahweh, you can say, I'm okay, and you're okay. I don't need to ask you, am I okay? I know I'm satisfactory. No, not only am I conscious that I am satisfactory, but I know I'm pure satisfaction. You do not have to walk around this earth being unsatisfied. You hear what I said? You don't have to walk around on this earth being unsatisfied. See, my 3 groups are still with me. I thought by now I would have gotten rid of a group or 2. For some reason, there's a group up and happy and rejoicing from within, and I still had that other group sitting back there totally dead. I'm watching people say something is getting hold on me. Once you become conscious that you are satisfactory, it'll make you reach out and satisfy. It's all right to be happy. It really is all right. It's all right to rejoice. It's all right to have joy. It's all right to share joy. I am joyful. Pure satisfaction will make you shout without music. Pure satisfaction will make you holler. Pure satisfaction will make you move. You can't help yourself. I said pure satisfaction will make you move. You can't be still. You might start off still, but when pure satisfaction hits, you got to move. I guarantee you, we're the only group on the planet Earth freaking off over words. When you're dead, you'll ask the question, how can you freak off over a word? But when you become conscious that the word is Yahweh, and that the word lives within me, check it out. See, when you become conscious of the air, then the word speaks from within you and says, I am satisfactory. I am good. That's what happens when you become conscious of the air within. Then you know the L is God, and the L is the Word. Then the Word speaks to you from within inside you. And you understand when you become conscious of it. The Word began to speak to you when you're conscious. It says, I am moral. One thing to say those words, and it's another to be conscious. And when you become conscious, you shall rejoice before the Lord Yahweh, your God. Oh yeah, you can't help yourself. I got something alive inside of me that won't let me be still. There's something alive in me different. I don't walk like I used to walk no more. I don't talk like I used to talk no more. I have a new walk, a new talk, and a new life. I'm satisfactory. It says here that you shall rejoice, and then your son and your daughter. What does that mean? It means you have a job to do. You have to reach out and get some sons and some daughters and bring them into consciousness. Yes, when you become satisfactory, then you're capable of satisfaction. You become capable of satisfying the need that every man has. Your son needs this joy. Your daughter needs this joy. Your manservant and maidservant need this joy. The stranger and the fatherless within your gates need this joy. The widows among you need this joy. The orphans among you need this joy. You need to become conscious of being satisfactory. Reach out and know how to love. You don't know how to love yet. Let me calm down before I give too much away for free. Joy being the first fruits. Who are the first fruits? The first fruits are the ones who become conscious of their air. Become conscious of Yahweh and their air. Those who become conscious of Yahweh and themselves. You can't help somebody else till you can help yourself. And I must tell you tonight, there's nothing like being satisfied. But once you're capable of satisfying yourself, you just don't want to keep it. You want somebody else to have some of this. Too good to keep to myself. I can't handle it. I got to let somebody else taste some of this. Woo! This is good. In here tonight. Some are looking mystified. What is this mystery? Woo! All you have to do is enter my school, take my yoke upon you, and learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burden is only light. Everybody who would like to have some of this, then you learn the song that LA Congregation sings. I'm fully committed.